And now I'm going to share my screen. I'll reintroduce you to those questions. Is everybody seeing my screen? I'm going to put it forward. You seen the Padlet? Thank you.
Yes.
So let's start talking about the first question here. What is one thing that you would consider an essential piece of every CS or IT program? Has everybody used Padlet? If you, I guess, computer people, I'm sure you know more about this than I do. Click on the plus sign and add your comments. Let's take a few minutes to just do that, first of all.
Barb?
Yeah.
You need to put the link to your Padlet in the chat so they can open their Padlet up.
Thank you. I knew there was something I'm forgetting.
That still didn't stop me from trying to click the plus sign.
Right.
I probably shouldn't have admitted that with this audience, but you know.
Yeah, thank goodness for the backup. Let me put it in the chat. There you go. And I'll go back to sharing. And we are still recording, correct? I think it would show. Okay.
Sorry, I have just no idea what I'm supposed to do here. So
Oh.
I've clicked on that link. I have another screen that's all blue. So what am I supposed to do?
Does it have a button, a plus button there that allows you to add a comment?
No, my screen looks, oh, wait, it is just filled in. So maybe it was just a slow connection. Okay. I think I'm good now.
Elena, do you have the link up? Okay. I don't see anything yet. Is that supposed to happen?
I typed something in there. I don't know.
Oh, maybe I'm supposed to refresh mine, I bet. No.
I'll do a test one here.
Okay.
So I type in the text and then I hit publish.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
Is that the, oh, it was hidden behind the,
Behind the, yeah.
everybody's pictures.
Yay, there we go.
So
There we go.
Zoom, yeah, Zoom takes command of everything, doesn't it? Yeah. I hit escape. There we go. Now I see my stuff. Thank you for letting me know stuff was hidden back there.
Oh, one thing I didn't do, and we should have done this. We'll start with, am I pronouncing your name right? Is it Elena?
Elena.
Elena. Can you introduce yourself and tell us where, I know it says in the
Sure.
chat, but tell us
Sure.
why you're here.
So my name is Elena Satpathy, and I was born in Gila, New Mexico.
Ah,
I grew up in Espanola, New Mexico.
fabulous.
Ended up going to UNM and getting a bachelor's degree. All along the way, no one ever encouraged, exposed anything, right, to computer science.
Right.
Moved to Chicago and lived there, for however long. And just in my job duties was responsible for systems, information systems. And so that led me to a master's in computer science from the University of Chicago.
Yeah.
So, right. So that just completely changed the trajectory of my life. Right.
Sure.
And the opportunities. So, I think there's so much we can do. Right. And one of the big challenges now, especially in the pandemic, right, because I'm a hiring manager at Sandia Labs, we cannot compete with industry because everybody is virtual now. So people don't have to move, right? So you can pump out as many awesome graduates as you want, but Microsoft or somebody else is going to scoop them up for 2-3 times what the feds will pay, right?
Wow.
So that's and that's not your problem, right? That's my problem. But I do think, getting just more kids exposed, kids who didn't even think that there was a possibility for them, right? to even do this kind of thing.
Right. Right. I mean, you think about the long and winding road you took to get here. It'd
Well,
be nice
and-
to have them start earlier.
And it starts in kindergarten, right?
Yeah.
It starts with solid, you have to have, whatever you do, you have to have a solid mathematical foundation,
Yeah.
right?
Sure.
And so math education is so, so important,
Yeah.
right? And computer science, right, as a discipline, you see all these other disciplines that rely on computer science now. You can't be a chemist, you can't be an engineer, you can't do anything without some computer science skills,
Yeah.
right? So, but you know, we have these students graduating from high school, struggling, right? This is New Mexico, struggling with core competencies, right? So when I was an undergrad at UNM, I was a chemistry tutor at the Center for Academic Program Support. And people would come in thinking they needed biology tutoring or chemistry tutoring. They needed math tutoring.
Right.
Because they couldn't balance the equations. They couldn't, right? So, and so then I would try to explain to them, no, you really need math. No, I don't. No, I don't. No, you really need math.
Want to jump in there. Yeah.
Right. So I don't know how, you know, that work fits into, you know, kind of beefing up the pre-curriculum for,
Yes.
right, computer science, but just those solid foundations for these kids.
Right. You're going to be hearing some more about an initiative we are rolling out. And John knows a little something about this, but we'll talk about that. I don't want to divert the conversation too much, but I think you'll be pleased to know that we're embedding that math curriculum in all of our CTE classes to make those classes more rigorous and relevant. Go ahead.
Well, no, and just one more thing. When I go to hire, right, and I have interns now that I've hired from, you know, their MIS at Anderson. I see these students have the potential to do a degree in computer science, but they don't believe in themselves.
Yeah.
Because they don't believe they have a solid grasp of the mathematics required for the algorithms or the computer architecture or the artificial intelligence, right? So they lack the confidence because they don't feel solid in their mathematics. And there's a huge difference in salary between an information systems degree and a computer science degree.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And that impacts their entire earning potential for their lives.
Yeah. Game changing. Yeah.
Game changing. Absolutely.
Thank you, Elena. Thank you so much. Anne, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your background, please?
Sure. I'm Anne Gentili at Sandia National Labs. I'm the manager of the High Performance Computing Development Department. We have needs for people who run the gamut from setting up systems, basic help desk diagnostics, all the way through to the most research kind of work. I think, you know, from what I've heard here, I really like the idea that you're talking about, you know, what can go into the curriculum. And I think we all have ideas for that. I think a big thing that we are lacking is a continuing connection with the programs to teach people about these careers and needs. You know, like one of the things I said, talking, you know, to Elena's point, right? We don't have a way to communicate to people that, you know, even just some basic IT thing, there are careers that are very useful. They don't have to get PhDs, right?
Sure.
And if we could also communicate what careers are like. I mean, I looked at sort of the symbol that you know, on the slide, you had a picture of someone sitting alone in front of a terminal typing. You know what? Yes, careers are, they're very social. There's, you know, you work with vendors, you go to conferences, you work on teams. If we could tell people continuously what these things are like, we might get, you know, people who are scared off, you know, learn, you know, it's actually a very different and exciting and social career.
Right. Interesting. Very good. I'm jotting that one down too, because you're right. There has to be that pipeline connection between industry and the classroom and industry for them to know eventually This can result in a well-paid job. So thank you so
Well,
much,
and
Anne.
a different job. It isn't how you go home and you work on your homework alone, right? So any opportunity that I am sure that we all could have to continually have a discussion with students and let them understand what these jobs are really like,
Yeah.
right? They're very exciting and social, and you don't
Yeah.
have a way to communicate that.
Oh, well, you will. This is great. Okay, Beth.
Hi, everyone. I'm Beth Waldrop. I'm with Albuquerque Regional Economic Alliance. We have a new name. We've been Albuquerque Economic Development for 60 years. So I'm here to learn about, well, my job is business retention and expansion. So it's a retooled program that I'm managing now for area where I will be going out and visiting companies, existing businesses, surveying them on employment needs, what we can do to help them grow and expand, or if they're in a contractual situation where their business is dying off, how we can help them, to address their needs and keep them in Albuquerque.
Yes.
So 80% of the new jobs that are generated are from existing business. We also recruit businesses to the 4-county area. But workforce is a huge issue. I mean, it is nationally, and I'm here to see what companies can do or what I can do when I go out and meet with companies. And I'm meeting with a lot of tech and aerospace companies, what we can do to show them that there is a pipeline of good talent coming down. So.
And that somebody just put in there, expand internship opportunities to create the talent pipelines. Exactly. Thank you. Denise, please. Denise Hobbs.
Hi there. I'm the Senior Regional Director of Oracle Academy. We are Oracle's philanthropic education program. So I've been working with Dr. Pereira and the team over at PED for years now as we provide curriculum and educator training so that both students at high school as well as articulation into post-secondary can, get exposure to Oracle technology as they become the next technology workforce.
Oh, so Denise, are you the conduit between industry and education right now? I mean, one of the many places that educators go to for some of this training?
Yeah, educators can come to me, and then we also have a curriculum that they can use in the classroom to teach their students.
Right.
And of course, Oracle Academy is free. So when we think about, cloud, or you think about database, or you think about Java, we have the full pathways related to those areas for secondary and most specifically post-secondary to utilize in the classroom as they prepare their students with industry relevant skills, essentially leading to their students' success as they do become the next technology leaders, technology innovators, technology creators, and most specifically workforce.
Wonderful. That's really good to know. There's somebody on the phone at 21 or last 4 digits 3152. If you want to introduce yourself, we'll wait. Okay, well, let's take a look real quick. Oh, have we nominated somebody to be the report out when we return to the main room? You guys want to fight amongst yourselves? Oh, and I'm sorry, Rick Schmidt and John Gobaldone are here. They are my coworkers at College and Career Readiness Bureau. So they're here to help me. Does anybody want to volunteer to be the report out?
I'm happy to do so. Is the people who are not part of your team, is that just me and Alana and I'm sorry, I missed the name of the person from
Beth.
Oracle? Is there?
Oh yeah, Denise Hobbs and Beth Waldrop.
Okay.
From Economic Development. That would be great. So based on this, how much time do I have? I got a few minutes, I got about 9 minutes. Let's take a look at that first question. What is one thing that you would consider an essential piece of every CSIT program? And I'm sorry, we're asking you to go back in time and go back to school and tell us at the high school level, what would make a quality computer science program that would fit into what we were talking about, the pipeline going forward. Somebody put systems integration. Can someone tell me what that is and help us understand it?
Sorry, I had to unmute there.
No worries.
So anything that is developed has to interface and integrate with other things, right? And so people think, oh, I know Java, that's all I need to know. No, your Java application is running in some other bigger, broader
Okay.
environment, right? And so that's where everything always starts to break down is around the interfaces,
Okay.
right? You're consuming data typically from sources, right? Other systems. You're probably delivering data to some other systems. So things are complicated, right?
Right.
So having people realize, hey, yes, I'm just working on this widget or this one app, but it's part of this bigger thing, right? To be able to see the forest for the trees, essentially, right? And so to cultivate that systems thinking, because, Anne, you could probably speak to this, right? At Sandia Labs, we're trying to solve some very complex problems that have lots of moving parts and pieces, and you have to think systemically.
Okay. Great, thank you.
Sure.
And I see cloud, more exposure to cloud concepts and terminology. I have a feeling, and we just added 2 new courses this year because I think we're a little behind when it comes to teaching these cloud concepts. Does anybody want to speak to that point?
So I added that because I think it's important that students understand, 4 main areas like core infrastructure, database solutions, platform and edge, governance and administration. I feel like, they, especially at a post-secondary level, they should understand those concepts and terminology.
Yeah.
And as they move into the workforce, and the same with database. So I put both in.
Oh,
So.
great. And I don't know, when Jamie put up the slide with our courses that we teach at the secondary level, I don't know how specific we get to teaching cloud technology. It might not be a standalone course, but it needs to be embedded in there somewhere. Is that correct, Denise?
That would be my guidance, yes.
Okay, great.
And Denise, may I ask you a question? In Oracle Academy, do you have the ability to state or share out if there's been an increase or a decrease in enrollment with your programs in the cloud and all?
In New Mexico?
If in New Mexico, over, say, like the last maybe 2 years, 3 years, have you seen any fluctuation?
So I'm
asking a bit.
I'm the senior regional director for all of North America. And I can tell you, I've seen a large number of faculty at a post-secondary level engaging with cloud and then engaging their students in cloud. Case in point, there is a computer science faculty at UNM who is the predominant database faculty teacher there, and she utilizes Oracle Cloud in her classroom and has her students engage with that there.
That's great. So, good to know. So
I would say yes, that there's been an uptake over the course of the last year and a half that I've seen nationally. And this is strictly post-secondary. At a secondary level, guys, I'll tell you that, for us, and my guess is for other cloud providers, students have to be 18.
Yeah.
So I think there's a challenge at the secondary level.
Okay. And do you have enough on that first question, or do you have any other clarifying questions you'd like to ask?
I have nothing else on the first question. I have no questions on the answers to the first question. I just want to bring up, I said that one about command line exposure. Part of my motivation there is that many things people interface with GUIs or drag and drop or whatever. And so whenever something goes wrong, they don't know what to do. This is part of maybe that point about being afraid. If you know how to get to things fundamentally and you can break them and you can fix them, then you're not afraid to interact with the system. So, you
Okay.
know, I think that's why I put command line interfaces.
Okay, excellent, thank you. We have a few more minutes to talk about question number 2. What can your company do? Internships, looks like we've covered. Thank you, Beth, for the information, or was it Beth? I'm sorry, Denise, for the Oracle Academy information. And who was talking to me about the social aspects of who was that?
That was me and Anne. And so, yeah,
I
so
love
not only
that.
that point, but even all of these, right? For Oracle to provide this curriculum, to have internship opportunities, I think we need more entrees to you guys, right? If you set up a program and we have no continuing interaction,
Right,
if we're just throwing across the fence, here's some curriculum, that's not going to do it. So what can you guys provide us for recruiting, for continuing opportunities to talk to people, not just judge science fairs, right?
right,
I'm sure we would hop on all of that.
yeah. Very good. Excellent. Does anybody have any more aspects of these 2 questions you want to add to? Looks like we have a minute or so. He said 2 o'clock, right? I think Christian said 2.
You can't hear our marbles rattle, but we all nodded our heads.
Okay, very good. Well, and thank you, Anne, and thank you everybody for participating. Thank you, Anne, for being the report out person. We really appreciate it. And it looks like, are we supposed to click on that? Did you guys get that message about guest started the meeting? Never mind. I don't think that's for us. Just give it a minute here. I had a teacher asking me today about in a course about computer repair, the hardware aspect of it. And I had to look in our STARS manual, Denise, to see what we offer. I'm not seeing
I don't think we do, Barb, not in repair.
There's one technician, it's computer
that's
technician 1.
Yeah, that's replacing components.
Mm,
That's not rebuilding or re-imaging or anything like that. It's
okay,
learning how to replace a component
yeah,
or how to build a computer from scratch.
Yeah.
That's what I've seen a lot of it used as.
yeah,
All right, so there it goes. As I say, we can also click the button at the bottom. It says leave room, but now we actually have the alert pop up. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you all.
everyone.
Thanks. Hey, Christian, does our recording stop in those breakout rooms? I guess it does, right? Automatically?
Yeah, I think as soon as you leave this meeting, I think is when it officially ends, but
Okay.
yeah, you don't have to worry about that.
Great, thank you.
And Barb, when you exit Zoom, it'll ask you, how you want to convert it or save it. Yeah, watch for that pop up.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Looks like everyone will be back in about 10 seconds or so.